Weak legs aren't just about getting older. Sometimes they're your body's quiet cry for help. Have you ever watched someone in their 80s or 90s walk with ease, steady on their feet, almost glowing with quiet confidence, and wondered, how do they still move like that? I used to believe that weak legs were just part of getting older, that the slower steps, the wobble in the knees, the soreness after a short walk, were all just things we had to accept. But what if that's not the full story? What if there's something deeper going on beneath the surface, something that can actually be changed? You see, for many people over 60, weak legs aren't just about age. They're often a quiet signal from the body, a sign that muscles, nerves, and circulation are struggling, not because we're too old, but because we're missing key nutrients that help them work together. The good news is, it's not too late. In fact, what you'll discover in this video could help you feel stronger, more balanced, and more energized than you have in years. We're going to explore 8 essential vitamins and minerals that play a powerful role in keeping your legs steady and strong. And I'm not just going to tell you what they are. I'll walk you through why they matter, how they work inside your body, and what happens when they're missing. You'll learn how one simple habit, just 1 tablespoon a day, can improve circulation, relax tired muscles, and reduce the kind of leg cramps that wake you up at night. We'll look at the most common mistakes people make when taking supplements, why certain vitamins only work when taken together, and how to tell if your body is quietly asking for more support. You'll even hear about real people, men and women in their 70s and 80s, who regained energy in their legs and found a new sense of freedom just by making small changes to their daily routine. So if your legs have been feeling heavy, if you've noticed you don't move quite like you used to, or if you're simply curious how to protect your strength for the years ahead, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll not only understand what your legs truly need, you'll also have the tools to give them exactly that. And trust me, your future self will thank you. Number 1. Vitamin D3, the foundation of strong muscles and steady bones. Let me take you back to a conversation I had not long ago with a man named Frank. He's 74, walks his dog every morning and swears by 2 things: black coffee and the morning sun. But just a few years ago, Frank started noticing something odd. He'd stand up from the couch and feel a deep ache in his thighs. Walking uphill felt like dragging cement blocks. At first he thought, well, this is just what happens when you get old. But then came the night cramps, the soreness, the constant fatigue in his legs. Eventually, a routine checkup revealed something simple but powerful. Frank's vitamin D levels were extremely low. Within a few weeks of daily supplementation and a bit of time in the sun, those nighttime leg cramps began to fade. 3 months later, he told me, I feel like my legs woke up from a long nap. Here's what's really going on. Vitamin D3 isn't just a bone vitamin. It's a command center for calcium absorption. Without it, calcium can't enter the bones. Your muscles struggle to contract properly. Your bones grow weaker. And worst of all, your risk of falling rises dramatically. In fact, studies show that older adults with low vitamin D levels are twice as likely to suffer a fall-related fracture. And here's something most people don't realize. As we age, our skin loses its ability to produce vitamin D from sunlight. So even if you're outside often, you might still be running low. Think about this. If your legs feel heavy at the end of the day, if it's harder to get out of a chair, or if you've had sudden cramps in your calves for no clear reason, that might not just be age, it might be a signal. A signal your body is asking for more D3. You can get it from foods like salmon, mackerel, eggs, and fortified milk. But one of the simplest, most powerful ways is this: just 1 tablespoon of cod liver oil a day. It's rich in vitamin D3, and it also gives you natural vitamin A and omega-3s. And the results? They're not just physical. Many older adults report feeling more energy, more balance, even more clarity of thought, just from restoring this one vitamin. The takeaway: sometimes we look for complex solutions to simple problems. But building strong legs often begins with something as simple as sunlight and one small spoon. Now, while D3 lays the foundation, it's not the only piece of the puzzle, because strength doesn't just come from the muscles, it also depends on the messages sent to them. Let's talk about that in number 2. Vitamin B12, the electrical current that keeps your legs alive and responsive. A few years ago, my neighbor Mary, she's 68 now, started telling me that her legs felt weird. Not painful exactly, but heavy. Some days she felt strong enough to walk around the block. Other days, she said her legs felt like they belonged to someone else. There was even a time she tripped over her own foot in the kitchen, not because there was something in her way, but because her leg didn't seem to respond fast enough. At first, she thought maybe she was just tired or dehydrated, but deep down, she knew something was off. Eventually, after seeing her doctor and running some tests, they found the answer. Her vitamin B12 levels were very low. You see, vitamin B12 doesn't just support energy, it plays a vital role in your nervous system. It helps your body create myelin, which is the protective coating around your nerves. Without it, the electrical signals between your brain and muscles become fuzzy, slower, sometimes even interrupted altogether. This is especially true in the legs, where long nerves have to travel all the way down from your spine. So when B12 runs low, your legs may feel weak, numb, wobbly, and even small tasks like walking down the stairs can feel like balancing on a rope. Mary started taking B12 daily under her doctor's guidance, and after just a few weeks, something shifted. She told me, "It's like my legs are listening to me again." That's the power of a well-connected nervous system. Now here, where it gets tricky. As we get older, our bodies become less efficient at absorbing B12 from food. And if you've ever taken acid reducers or certain diabetes medications, your B12 absorption may be even lower. That means you could be eating perfectly healthy and still be deficient. So what can you do? The best food sources of B12 include beef, eggs, dairy, and fish. But one surprisingly simple and effective addition is nutritional yeast. Just 1 tablespoon a day sprinkled on soup, eggs, or blended into a smoothie can give your nervous system the boost it needs. Some people even say they feel a spark of energy return. Their balance improves. They stop feeling that pins and needles sensation in their legs, and more than anything, they feel in control again. The takeaway: strong legs aren't just about muscle. If the wires connecting brain to body are frayed, even the strongest legs won't move the way they should. That's why restoring B12 isn't just helpful, it's essential. Now, if vitamin B12 is the current that helps you move, then what about the structures that hold everything together? The tendons, the joints, the tissues that keep your legs stable when you stand, bend, or climb. For that, we turn to one of the most overlooked and misunderstood vitamins of all. Number 3, vitamin C, the glue that keeps your joints and tendons strong and supple. When my cousin Irene turned 70, she started noticing something strange. Each morning, her knees felt stiff, almost locked. She'd sit for a while, and when she tried to stand, her joints would crack and resist. She wasn't in terrible pain, but it felt like her body had tightened overnight. And when she went walking with her friend Linda, she'd fall behind after just a few blocks. Not because she was tired. Her joints just didn't move like they used to. So she asked me, "Do you think it's just old age?" I asked her what her diet was like. She ate fairly well, lots of greens, chicken, fruit here and there. But there was one thing missing. Vitamin C, you see. Most people think of vitamin C as something you take when you're getting a cold. But your body actually uses it every day for something much more foundational. Vitamin C helps your body produce collagen, a protein that acts like scaffolding for your joints, tendons, ligaments, and even cartilage. Think of it as the glue that holds everything together. Without enough vitamin C, your body can't make strong collagen. And when collagen breaks down faster than it's replaced, you start to feel joint stiffness, slower recovery after movement, more aches, especially in the knees and hips. Over time, even simple activities like gardening, walking, or getting in and out of the car start to feel less fluid. Not necessarily painful, just awkward, less free. So I had Irene try something new. Each morning, she added a teaspoon of a Acerola cherry powder to her smoothie. It's a natural superfood that's packed with vitamin C, way more than what you'd get from an orange. 3 weeks later, she told me something that stuck with me. She said I don't creak when I stand up anymore. It sounds small, but it was everything to her. That's what vitamin C can do. It's not about curing pain overnight, it's about giving your body the tools to rebuild, to repair tissues that have quietly worn down over time, to help you move not just without pain but with grace again. The takeaway: if your legs feel stiff, if your knees complain every time you bend, you might not need a new joint. You might just need a little more glue. Now let's say you're doing everything right, getting your calcium, your vitamin D, staying active, but somehow your bones still feel fragile. You start noticing tightness in your joints, maybe even strange aches in your lower back. That might be a sign that something's missing, not from your muscles or your bones, but from the pathway between them. Let's take a closer look at number 4, vitamin K2, the guide that sends calcium exactly where it's needed most. A few years ago, my friend Harold came to me with a question that stopped me in my tracks. He said, "I've been taking calcium for years. I drink milk, take my supplements, but my knees still hurt, and I just found out I have some calcification in my arteries. What am I doing wrong?" It's a question many of us have silently wondered. We're told calcium keeps our bones strong, and that's true. But what we're not always told is this: calcium doesn't know where to go on its own. And that's where vitamin K2 comes in. Think of K2 as a traffic cop for calcium. It tells calcium, you go to the bones, and just as importantly, stay out of the arteries, out of the joints, and out of the soft tissues. Without enough K2, the calcium you take, whether from food or supplements, can end up in the wrong places. In the worst cases, it builds up in the blood vessels or in the cartilage around the joints. That can lead to stiffness, high blood pressure, or even an increased risk of fractures. Ironically, the very thing we take calcium to avoid. When Harold's doctor explained that he might be low in vitamin K2, it all made sense. He started adding grass-fed butter and ghee into his cooking. Sometimes a little cheese from pasture-raised animals. Nothing drastic, just small changes, and within 2 months something interesting happened. He didn't just feel less joint stiffness, his posture improved. He said he felt lighter, like his body wasn't fighting itself anymore. You see, when calcium gets directed into your bones instead of your soft tissue, your body moves more freely, more naturally. The takeaway: calcium is important. But without vitamin K2, it's like sending a package with no address. It might arrive at your doorstep, or it might end up causing problems in a place you never intended. So if you're already taking calcium or vitamin D3, adding K2 could be the key to making them work as they should. Especially as we age and the balance of minerals in our body becomes more delicate. Now you've probably noticed a theme so far. Strong legs don't just come from exercise or eating greens. They come from a whole system working together: muscles, bones, nerves, circulation. And speaking of circulation, there's one mineral that quietly powers your ability to move, relax, and recover. Yet most people don't even realize they're missing it. Let's dive into number 5, magnesium, the switch that helps muscles relax and blood flow freely. If you've ever had a Charlie horse in the middle of the night, you know just how intense that pain can be. One moment you're sleeping peacefully, the next, your leg feels like it's been set on fire. It tightens up, won't release, and you're left rubbing it in the dark, wondering what just happened. That exact thing used to happen to my Uncle Ray nearly every night. He'd wake up groaning, grabbing his calf, sometimes even walking circles around the bedroom trying to shake it off. He thought it was dehydration, or maybe just getting old. But the real culprit, a quiet deficiency in magnesium. Magnesium is what I call the peacekeeper of your muscles. It helps them contract when they need to, and just as importantly, relax when they're done working. Without it, your muscles stay tense, jittery, or prone to cramping. But that's not all. Magnesium also plays a major role in blood flow. It helps keep your blood vessels relaxed and open, allowing oxygen and nutrients to reach your muscles, especially the ones in your legs. Without good circulation, your legs can feel tired, cold, or heavy, even after doing something as simple as walking to the mailbox. Ray started adding just 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seeds to his breakfast every morning. Sometimes he'd toss them in oatmeal, sometimes just eat them by the handful. Within 2 weeks, the nightly cramps stopped. He said, "It's the first time in years I've gone a full night without waking up from pain." It might sound like a small fix, but it was life-changing for him. Now, here's something important. Magnesium is used in over 300 processes in your body, but your body can't store it well. That means even a small dip in your daily intake can cause symptoms to pop up quickly. And as we age, we tend to absorb less and lose more, especially if we're taking certain medications like diuretics or antacids. The takeaway: if your legs feel jumpy at night or tight after a short walk, if you've been dealing with cramps, or just a strange sense of fatigue in your lower body, magnesium could be the missing piece. Start small. Add seeds, leafy greens, or a gentle magnesium supplement in the evening. And when your muscles can finally relax, you'll feel it, not just in your legs, but in the way your whole body unwinds. Now that we've talked about helping your muscles relax, let's talk about something just as important: keeping your blood moving. Because even strong muscles need a constant supply of oxygen to function. And that brings us to a powerful, but often forgotten, nutrient that protects your circulation from the inside out. Let's move on to number 6, vitamin E, the gatekeeper of healthy blood flow to your legs. A few winters ago, my friend Dolores noticed something odd. Her legs would start to feel cold long before the rest of her body. Sometimes, after sitting for a while, she'd stand up and feel a strange numbness down her calves. Not pain exactly, just a sense that her legs weren't fully awake. She de-wrapped them in blankets, wear wool socks, even bought one of those little space heaters for under her desk, but nothing seemed to make a lasting difference. Then during a routine checkup, her doctor suggested something she hadn't thought of at all. Let's take a look at your vitamin E levels. That one sentence opened a door to something many people overlook. Vitamin E is best known for its role in skin health, but its deeper function has everything to do with circulation. You see, your blood vessels are like highways. Over time, stress, inflammation, and oxidation can cause those highways to become narrow, stiff, or damaged. Vitamin E works as a powerful antioxidant, protecting those blood vessels and keeping them flexible, so blood can flow freely all the way to your fingertips and toes. When circulation is sluggish, your legs don't get enough oxygen. That can lead to fatigue after minimal activity, a feeling of heaviness or dull aching, swelling around the ankles after long periods of sitting. Even that strange coldness Dolores felt. Once she started adding just 1 tablespoon of wheat germ oil to her morning smoothie, she told me it was like a switch flipped. Not only did her legs feel warmer, she had more stamina during her daily walks. And as a bonus, she noticed her skin looking more hydrated and elastic. It's amazing how one nutrient can make that much of a difference. But here's a gentle reminder. Vitamin E is fat-soluble, which means it's best absorbed with meals that contain healthy fats. And for anyone taking blood thinners, it's always wise to speak to your doctor before adding high-dose supplements. The takeaway: if your legs feel colder than they should, or if you find yourself needing to stop and rest sooner than you'd like, it may not be just poor circulation. It could be a lack of vitamin E quietly building up over time. Adding it back can make your legs feel lighter, more alive, and more responsive. Now, so far we've talked about muscles, bones, joints, and blood flow. But there's one final link we haven't touched yet. It's the connection between your brain and your body, the part that allows your brain to speak to your muscles, telling them when to move, how to balance, and when to stop. That connection relies on a powerful yet underappreciated nutrient. Let's explore number 7, choline, the messenger that connects your brain and muscles in every step you take. A few months ago, I sat on a park bench with a retired school teacher named Paul. He was in his early 70s, thoughtful, sharp as ever, but he shared something that had been quietly worrying him. He said, "Sometimes I feel like my legs hesitate when I try to move. Like I think about walking, but there's a delay before my legs actually follow." That one sentence said so much, because it wasn't weakness or pain he was describing. It was a disconnect. And that disconnect often comes down to something most people have never heard of: choline. Choline is an essential nutrient that helps your body make acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter. Think of acetylcholine as the signal your brain sends to your muscles every time you take a step, lift a foot, or adjust your balance. Without enough choline, those signals become fuzzy, slow, or in some cases don't arrive at all. It's like trying to play a song through broken speakers. The melody's still there, but the sound is choppy and unclear. Paul started adding 2 eggs a day back into his routine, one of the richest natural sources of choline. He also added a scoop of sunflower lecithin to his oatmeal a few times a week. Within a few weeks, he noticed something powerful. He didn't feel hesitant anymore. He stood up from the bench more confidently. And more than that, his walking felt smoother, like his legs and brain were finally back in sync. Now here's something you may not know. Choline is especially important as we age. The body becomes less efficient at producing it naturally, and most multivitamins don't include it. If you're following a low-fat or plant-based diet, you might be missing out without even realizing it. The takeaway: strong legs are more than just muscle and bone. They rely on communication, your brain saying go, and your legs answering without hesitation. And choline is the messenger that makes that conversation happen clearly. If you've ever felt unsteady for no clear reason, or like your movements are slightly off, this might be the missing link. Now, as we near the end of our journey through these essential nutrients, there's one more important topic we need to cover. Because even if you're getting all the right vitamins, some common mistakes can still prevent your legs from regaining their true strength. Let's talk about the hidden pitfalls that hold people back in number 8. The common mistakes that keep your legs weak, even when you're taking all the right vitamins. A few weeks ago, I ran into a woman named Susan at the community center. She had been following all the right advice, taking her vitamin D, eating leafy greens, staying active. But she still felt like her legs weren't improving. They still felt heavy. Her balance wasn't getting better. And the fatigue, it lingered. She asked me, "Am I missing something? I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to." And the truth is, she was. But she was also making a few small mistakes that were quietly undoing all her efforts. Here's the thing most people don't realize. It's not just about what vitamins you take. It's about how, when, and what you combine them with. For example, mistake 1, taking vitamin D without K2. Susan had been increasing her D3 dose, but without K2, the calcium wasn't being directed into her bones. It may have been building up in her joints instead. Mistake 2, taking magnesium at the wrong time. She took it first thing in the morning, but then felt tired and sluggish all day. Magnesium is best taken in the evening. It helps your muscles relax and can even improve sleep. Mistake 3, not pairing fat-soluble vitamins with healthy fats. She took her vitamin E and D3 with plain water. But those vitamins need fat to be absorbed properly, so they were just passing through her system, mostly unused. Mistake 4, not moving. Yes, she was walking, but only once or twice a week. Movement helps activate the nutrients. It stimulates circulation, builds strength, and sends a message to your body. I still need these legs, so let's keep them strong. So we adjusted a few things. She moved her magnesium to after dinner, added a tablespoon of olive oil to her lunch with D3, started taking short walks every morning. And within a few weeks, she felt the difference. Her energy was up, her legs weren't as tight, and most importantly, she felt hopeful again. The takeaway: even the best vitamins can't work their magic if the environment isn't right. Think of it like gardening. You can plant the best seeds, but if the soil's not ready, they won't grow. Your body works the same way. Sometimes it's not about doing more. It's about doing things smarter. Now, as we bring everything together, you might be thinking, that's a lot to remember. Where do I even start? Let's take a moment to step back, and I'll remind you of something simple, something powerful. Because you don't need youth to feel strong again, you just need the right strategy. Let's wrap it all up. You don't need youth, you need the right strategy. Let's take a moment to reflect. What if the weakness in your legs, the wobbliness, the heaviness, the cramps at night isn't just aging? What if it's your body quietly asking for support? Not a miracle cure, not a gym membership, but the right nutrients given in the right way. We've talked about 8 essential nutrients today. Vitamin D3, the foundation of muscle and bone strength. Vitamin B12, the signal that connects brain to muscle. Vitamin C, the glue that holds your joints and tendons together. Vitamin K2, the guide that tells calcium where to go. Magnesium, the switch that helps your muscles relax. Vitamin E, the gatekeeper of circulation. Choline, the coordinator between your brain and movement. And finally, the common mistakes that might be holding you back, even if you're doing everything else right. Each one is a piece of the puzzle. And together they create a powerful strategy for stronger, more stable, more energized legs, no matter your age. So no, you don't need to be 30 again. What you need is clarity, a plan that works with your body, not against it. And a little consistency, one small habit at a time. Because when your legs are strong, you are strong. You move with confidence. You live with freedom. You wake up in the morning feeling ready to step into the day, not afraid of it. Now I'd love to hear from you. What was the one insight today that surprised you the most? Was it about magnesium, or maybe the power of choline? Leave a comment below and share what you're planning to try. Your story might just help someone else take their first step too. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you won't miss the next one. We've got more science-backed tools, inspiring stories, and simple strategies to help you stay strong, steady, and full of life. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Take care and keep walking forward.